Welcome to Elite in Need of Supplies, the first part of the Western Threnal chain. I'm going to be doing all three parts in this video. Let's take a look at the enhancements first. Nothing has changed on the Enlightened Spirit side, and I'm just working up here on the Soul Leader side up to Tier 3 and 8. And just got the Consume and Stricken maxed out now. Got some extra spell power here, and nothing too terribly exciting here. Some extra fort. My burst caused the shaking condition. Only two changes on the gear side, but I'll just show real quick. Blindness immunity, secret door detection crafted. Jinx's Vexation. This is an interesting medium armor option. It's got a slot. Devotion 60. It's not that great. It's actually, I believe it has a hidden penalty, like maybe to will saves. In any event, it's something I had. Not a ton of medium armor options, named medium armor options, I guess, at this level. I don't know. In any event, whatever. I like the way it looks. I think it looks really cool. Enchantment Save 5, Evocation Focus 2, crafted onto the Bracers, Good Luck 2, crafted onto the Ring, Kundrak Delving Boots for full-on freedom of movement, Strength 6 Gloves, the Delving Boots are from Von 6, Impulse 54 on the Ring, still too lazy to recraft that to 60, Greater False Life on the Belt, crafted, Charismatic 6, crafted on the Cloak, Level 7 version of Blasting Chime. We'll be upgrading that to the level 11 version next level. Con 6 on crafted on the necklace, and Feather Falling melee alacrity 10% crafted on the helmet. Plus 4 light mithril shield of invulnerability crafted onto the mithril small shield blank. And radiance 46 of insightful radiance 24 longsword. For my most recent Warlock spell, I picked Everard's Black Tentacles. Nice crowd control spell. If you don't have high DCs, like I don't, it will still have a slowing effect on the mobs. And it looks really cool. So this one, you're basically just running down to the dwarf in this first part. But you do have to kill mobs along the way. You can't just zerk down there. See, in the upper right hand corner it says 23 left. 20 now. Let's see what the Consume and Stricken looks like at this level with what I got. So there's Consume. Taken for 62, 31, 26. The 60s must have been a crit. And now let's take a look at Stricken. That was the aura hitting them. It's just terrible. They move a little bit, and it doesn't hit them. Looks like it hits them, but no. 245. It's just I just cannot stand how slow attacks like that, the Stricken, the Consume, even just the regular blasts are just so slow. There was no reason for that to not hit that target. Didn't kill enough stuff on the way down. Now I gotta go back up. stupid little baby spiders don't count. There we go. Ridiculous? Yes. Remnant? Yes. One of the things I wanted to mention again, and I may have mentioned this in a previous video, but just in case. When you're upgrading your enhancements, you know, let's say you go from like tier 2 to tier 3 Eldritch Burst, make sure you grab it again from your enhancement sheet and drag it back into your hotbar, because what you have in your hotbar is the previous version. Even though you've upgraded it, the hotbar can still like work off the, say, tier 2 version, even if you have it upgraded to tier 3. And that is the end of part 1. Twice as long as it should have been. We're going to advance the chain, talking to Jan Fallner, and go right back in to the rescue. So now we gotta go down and get the dwarf and lead him back up to the top. And he is very easily killed. There's so many mobs, they're stealth. If you don't have a good spot, they're stealthing. They seem to come out of nowhere, or you get ahead of him and he's back fighting a mob and you didn't realize it, and before you realize it, he's dead and you failed. Or, you know, he gets one shot by a damn champion. All kinds of things that can go wrong. And it's good to clear mobs from, you know, that are off the beaten path, because he's going to aggro on them. And you come back up. And then he's going to die, and you're going to be sad, and you're going to be mad. This is an important chain to do. You know, I always do it every life, you know, if I'm working through heroic levels. Not if I do an iconic, but if I start at 1, I always do Threnal, because I want to get, you know, my Mantle of the World Shaper out of the end reward, guaranteed from the end reward. And this is a great item. I mean, every toon must have this, because it's got 5 charges of spell absorption. So it's a great situational item when you want to switch to, you know, when shit's hitting the fan kind of thing. You need to absorb some spells. You know, your people are dying, it's critical. You slide a spell absorption item on, it can, you know, keep you up a little bit longer. But another reason it's really important is because, well, even by itself, you get, you know, you switch to that, you get your 5% XP bonus. And you can just switch to the end. Switch to that at the end, right before you finish, and you'll get your 5% bonus. You won't get it, you know, throughout the quest for the optionals, because, you know, if you're not wearing it full time. But still, having that 5% XP hit at the end is pretty important. Voice of the Master for the same reason. Voice of the Master, of course, comes from Threnal. Now, but what's more is you know, even if you already have it, you want to keep doing both Threnal and Delira's to get another Voice of the Master, because you can combine those two items. And I was just telling somebody last night who had taken a long break from the game. They'd been back for, I don't know, a handful of months and didn't realize that you can take your Voice of the Master and your Mantle of the World Shaper along with 5 greater tokens of the 12. So those are the tokens that come from raids, from the older raids, from the older epic raids. So like Von 6 and a Master Artificer, Lord of Blades, Chronoscope, Epic Demon Queen. And so you take your Voice of the Master, Mantle the World Shaper, 5 greater tokens, and crunch it in the Epic Altar, and you get what I have in my blue slot, the Master's Gift, which is a colorless augment that gives you a 5% XP bonus. Really, really awesome. I'm going to do a video after this chain on doing that, just on that. Now you don't want to leave him down here by himself, because I believe that stuff will spawn on him. But I do want to clear out these first few mobs. I don't remember at which point mobs spawn back there. But there's some point you get to, and it'll trigger. The only thing I can give them is a blur. Do I have resist energy, wands, but they're level 11. Do I have the spell? No. I'm afraid that's about all I'm going to be able to do for him. And we can pull him in here, tell him to stay here, and we can lock him in. It's for his own good. Now, alternatively, you know, you could just, you know, park them, then clear up a little ways, then go back and get them, and then park them, then clear up a little ways. That's kind of a pain. But whatever you want to do. So all these mobs respawned. We don't need champion glass spiders lurking about. I think it's time to go get our boy. Or dwarf, if you prefer. An ivory scorpion icon. That's used for like crafting like a +6 stat. If you haven't heard yet, they're apparently going to be severely increasing the use of collectibles in the new Kenneth crafting. So if you're not the kind of person that picks up bags and stuff and mushrooms and stuff, start doing it if you think you might ever get into crafting. Because it would appear that collectibles are going to be a lot more useful and valuable in the very near future. Now it can be handy to target him. This way, even like if you don't have your eye, like I can't see him on my screen right now, but I can see him in my targeting circle. And that way, like let's say, you know, one of those methods was stealthing and starts attacking him, I would see his health bar going down. This little tip. Little tippy tip. He's so slow. I just got done making hummus. I don't know if I've ever talked in my videos before, but I am fanatical about hummus. I love hummus, and I make hummus. I've been making hummus for about 15 years. And I'm very, very selective. I'm very picky, I guess. And that probably is because I live in Detroit. In Detroit, we have the largest Middle Eastern population outside of the Middle East. So we have lots of authentic, some might call it Mediterranean food, but that that can mean like Italian food, for example. Or Middle Eastern food, Lebanese food. So we have lots of really good authentic Lebanese food, Middle Eastern food around. So the hummus around here is just fantastic. At least if you know where to go. I mean, in most places they know how to do it here. And so I have very discriminating taste when it comes to hummus, and it took me a long time to learn how to make good hummus. Tried a lot of recipes and a lot of trial and error. Hey, and that's the end of part 2. We're going to advance the chain. Go back in. And we're going to do secure the area. And yes, this is level 12. I'm still going to do it because I want to be able to have access to the rest of the chain, which isn't that high level. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. So anyways, if you like hummus and you've been frustrated when you make your own, respond to this video and I'll respond with my recipe and some really good tips, because it's not hard to make really, really good authentic hummus, but there are some things you need to know that if nobody told you, which is one of the problems I had, nobody told me, that you wouldn't know. And I'm not going to go over my hummus recipe now, but I'm just going to give you an example. You want to use dried chickpeas, not chickpeas from a can. It makes a huge difference. And I wouldn't have known that. Okay, enough about hummus. See, I am fanatical about hummus. See, I could talk about hummus for like an hour. I can almost live on hummus. Am I still talking about hummus? Back to DDO. I told you, I'm fanatical. Oh, this is the one where I gotta clear all the renders. It takes forever because some of them you gotta wait for respawns. Blah, blah, blah. Some of them are hiding. Like in these early caverns, I think. Yeah, here's one up here. Frickin' crap. So this is really, you know, one of the only, this may be the only quest that I'll do, like, sort of out of order. Out of level order. Again, because I want to have access to the other parts. I guess specifically the southern, because you can't do southern until you have western and eastern done. It doesn't matter which one you do first, western or eastern. The Everett's Black Tentacles also does damage, AoE damage, so let's take a look and see what that's like. Turn off my aura. 55, 53, 64. That is maximized and empowered. I seem low. Let's try another mob here. Let me get a group of mobs together. Here's a group of mobs. And this is primarily a crowd control spell, but, you know, like I said, it does do some damage. Not bad, wiped out that group. $16 more to go. Ice Flenser we gotta kill. Zelmath. Almost still got 5 to go. This lever just turns on spinny traps. There's no reason to pull it. And that is all. And then you get your ceremonial dagger. And this is what's used in the arena challenge, which I did a video for like a year ago, but the audio is messed up. So I think I'm gonna do a video of that this live too. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about my videos, you can respond on YouTube. If you have questions about build I'm doing, you can respond in the DDO Warlock forums. And if you are on Sarlona, you are welcome to send me a tell.